Hello, hello, and welcome, my Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your soulmate reading for March 2020, or timeless. Whenever you're supposed to be watching this is when you're supposed to watch it. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, not just president of Drawing the Circle Productions, just not the professional witch, the professional intuitive of Holbrook, Long Island, but also a Leo rising, and very, very happy and looking good, I hope, for my Leos out there. Let's rock and roll. Let's get down to business. If you are new to my channel, please do like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And comment in the comment section below, because I like to know what's going on with these readings. I mean, I can read them for myself, but, you know, otherwise, it's like being dropped down into a romantic comedy right in the middle of it, and then getting yanked out before you get to see how it ends. So please do comment below if you can, right? If your situation's not too secret. But it's fun for me to read later on. Cool. This is a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what does not, and check your other signs. That's why I do Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs for anything relationship-based, as well as I try and keep it entertaining and informative. I am a spiritual teacher, have been the majority of my career, but I've been reading tarot longer. I started when I was 12, and will be 52 in September. I'm a Virgo. So, you know, a little of this, a little of that, but a lot of tarot, a lot of spiritual counseling, a lot of spiritual teaching. Cool. So I'll keep it fun for you, right? Fifth house Leos, and I love being a Leo rising. Otherwise, I'd never leave the house, and I would certainly not be doing this on YouTube. This is a soulmate readings, my Leos. Soulmate contracts are different than twin flame contracts. I know people want to conflate them, confuse them, but they're not the same. The only thing they have in common is that they involve people, and that they are soul contracts, pre-incarnational agreements, obviously you make before coming into the body, written into the character of your name and the body that you're in, and you are the soul that is chosen to essentially be the actor. You are cast to play this role. So certain things are just written in, certain interactions, certain things you're going to do, but the difference with a soulmate contract, the bottom line is you help each other heal. There are two videos in the description box below you might want to check out. One by me, clarifying twin flame soulmates and true lovers. The other by Matt Kahn, soul contracts, twin flames and soulmates redefined. Go watch it. It's really, really good. It was such a wake-up call for me, which is also why I didn't like the term twin flame or soulmate for so long, because I felt like the definitions were practically the same thing and didn't feel right. So I really do thank Matt Kahn for that. I hope to meet him someday, face to face, and just thank him for that in particular. We are going to be looking at this, though, as a contract. I was raised by a lawyer, so we're going to look at party number 1 and party number 2 is divine feminine and divine masculine, just to illustrate two different people in a contract, a soulmate contract, but it has nothing to do with bodily gender, right? I myself consider myself predominantly divine feminine, but if it wasn't for my divine masculine energy, again, Mars conjunct Leo rising, I wouldn't be on YouTube. I'm a Pisces moon, Virgo sun. I wouldn't leave the house, and particularly with I'm not leaving my house. I love working from home now. So glad I made the move to YouTube. I don't have to interact with anybody. And if anybody wants a private reading, I can do it through Facebook Messenger, Skype, and telephone. So, and if they come up with a better video platform to do it on, I will be glad to. Cool. Got to keep up with the times at almost 52 years old. That being said, if you can focus on your breath, as will I throughout, we will be in the present moment, tuning to the divine. That's where I'm getting the guidance and the grace, even down to the fall of the cards. When I bless the decks, that's what I asked for, that the divine works through me, puts every card in every position to speak through me, to give me the clearest guidance and grace for each card that hits the table for these readings, keeping in mind that it's general. It's not going to hit everybody 100% every single time. So be kind, right? Be kind. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and check your other signs. You never know what else you're going to find. Cool. So let's do this. Take a nice deep breath. Oh, before you do, we're going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype deck. All the decks I read are always in the description box at the very, very bottom. Scroll down there, have a look, because there's other cool stuff on the way. A couple of my books are on there. There's some VIMEO.com stuff. You can watch some trailers of classes that I used to teach when I was heavier and had shorter hair. So, yeah, I'm even wearing glasses. So if you want to see what I look like, man, the transformation I've been through these past 3 or 4 years, unbelievable. Thank you, Twin Flames. So, you ready to rock and roll? Let's do this. Nice deep breath. There you are, my collective pantheons. It's like as soon as I hold the deck and take that breath, there they are. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. I guess my own included, being that I'm Leo rising. Please, 2 cards, one for the divine feminine and one for the divine masculine in this Leo collective. Sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Sexual, intimate, romantic, soulmate contract, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic, satisfying soulmate contract for March 2020 or timeless, please. One for the divine feminine. Ooh, that one popped out. And one for the divine masculine here. Yeah, I forgot to say, we have twin flames in all different modalities, right? Friends. The same is true with soulmates, right? Soulmates and twin flames. You have more than one in each lifetime. My mom and I are soulmates, but this reading in particular is about the romantic, intimate, sexual kind. The kind we've been working on for thousands of years, lifetime after lifetime. Cool. So before I flip these archetype cards over, because they can be a little triggery, I'm not even looking at them yet, there is shadow and light written on both of them, right? The shadow attribute, which is supposed to be triggery and toxic, the light, which is what you're shooting for, and because the contract is to help each other heal, this is the content that you're going to help each other heal within yourselves. Cool? All right, let's see who we got. Interesting. The divine feminine has the companion archetype, one of the healing family of archetypes, and the pioneer divine masculine. Oh, you're going to hate the shadow on this one because you've dealt with it before, I'm sure. And this is the creative family, right? So the creative pioneer, creating what has not happened before, not just someone exploring, but pioneering. So I'm going to read you what's on this. Remember to breathe as you do, because you may not know which one you are right off the bat simply by the name. So again, take what resonates. Notice what happens in your body and your energy field as I read these, all right? The companion in her shadow. And remember, I'm saying him and her to differentiate, right? So please pardon the gendered pronouns. The shadow attribute, betrayal in misusing confidences, right? So a companion gets close and you take them into your confidence and then they betray those. Loss of personal identity, right? Like a boundary issue, that you become so identified in the companionship that without them you don't know who you are. A little bit different than just codependence. It's where your identity is dependent upon the relationship, and we've all been there, right? We usually do that in our adolescence, particularly if there's a group of friends, right? You become identified with, but this is for adults. So in terms of romance, in terms of companionship, right? But the light attribute is really lovely. Loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. Isn't that lovely? Loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. So for divine feminine, absolutely lovely. For the divine masculine pioneer, gird your loins. I don't think you're going to like this one in the shadow. Compulsive need to keep moving on. Have you ever dealt with a divine masculine who had a compulsive need to keep moving on, particularly after you had sex, smoked the cigarette, and they're gone? I used to do that. Not anymore. No. You mature out of that. It's a stage, right? But the pioneer and its light, passion for doing and creating what has not been done before, right? So that can be very leading edge, sometimes bleeding edge. But a very, very creative type to be with. Now remember, all relationships, except maybe familial ones, are a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So whether you are dealing with a twin flame or a soulmate, they can come in for a reason, You help each other heal in soulmates. We'll talk about twin flames another time. A season, they're in your life for a while. You know, a season is technically 3 months, but could be a year, 2 years, 3 years. But then you have a lifetime, right? Those sort of lifelong soulmates. So the pioneer, really, if they're in their shadow, that divine masculine could just come in for a reason and disappear, then that's how it's scripted. But the companion tends to want to be more lifetime. So there could be a little rub right there, but if you can help each other heal, take what it is. And you never know. They could all end up being lifetimes. So if you're not clear about which one you are just yet, we've got the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. We're going to get 5 of those for the Divine Feminine, and we've got the Mythic Tarot, Juliet Sharman Burke, for that Pioneer. We're going to do Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit, and a lovely little spread I've been reading, God, since I was a teenager. Oh, wonderful deck I learned it from called the Elemental Tarot. Not like elemental like fairies, like Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit. Very graphic deck. I loved it. I'm sure you can get it on Amazon somewhere, but it's got to be out of print. That came out in the 80s. That's how old I am. So let's do this. This will be the voice of the goddesses for the Divine Feminine. Take a nice deep breath for me, please. Oh, so lovely. My goddesses, please. Top 5 cards, element spread, fire, earth, air, water, spirit, for this Divine Feminine companion archetype in this Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, satisfying, intimate, sexual, romantic, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, soulmate contract for March 2020 or timeless, please. Fire, what does she want? Earth, what does she have? Air, what does she think? Water, what does she feel? And spirit, what is the point of view or voice of her soul in this soulmate contract? Thank you very much for March 2020. Clean cuts, please. Maiden, Mother, Chrono. I do love a clean cut, meaning there are no hanging cards. Sometimes with round cards, they get caught in the crease of your finger and it dangles. The last reading, one dangled and the one before, right after it slid out, and it was the right card. I'm going to do the same with the Mythic Tarot, because then I'm going to pull both from both of them at the same time. You'll see it's really cool. Saves time to breathe. Oh, my gods. Please, top 5 cards, element spread, for this Divine Masculine Pioneer archetype in this Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, sexual, intimate, romantic, satisfying soulmate contract for March 2020 or timeless, please. What you got for us? Fire, what does he want? Earth, what does he got? Air, what does he think? Water, what does he feel? And spirit, what is the voice of or point of view of his soul? Please, my gods, thank you. Son, Father, Sage. I always wait until they go, cut him! That's when I cut them. Let's do this. Ready? We're going to pull at the same time. I love doing it this way. This is new for me. They're always upgrading me, my pantheon. So, element of fire, what do they want? Well, we're off to a running start. The Divine Feminine wants the Chariot, the Amazon in this deck. Love it. It's very Wonder Woman. Did someone say Wonder Woman? Yes, Linda Carter stole my heart when I was 7 years old. And the Divine Masculine, the Ace of Wands, that's Zeus, my dad, Zeus. Very phallic card, very masculine energy. So they both have a lot of fire here. I mean, the card of the Amazon usually associated with the Cancerian card. I get it. There's a lot of moon imagery even in the Rider-Waite Tarot. But this is the female warrior. This is controlling her light and dark forces, her shadow and her light. Very much the archetypal patterning we're dealing with here. Like when you have to go to work, but you don't want to go to work, but you're just kind of like, okay. So it's the balance of motivation and inspiration. Motivation is the stick, inspiration is the carrot to move forward. And that is certainly an emotional thing, right? But there's something very fiery about this because it's in the fire position. So this can be about balancing passion with reason, for example. the past experiences balanced with the inspiration, the calling forth of the new, which can put one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake, but it feels like both feet are on the gas for her. And I can't say it's that much different for the Divine Masculine here. The Ace of Wands is just an ace, but it's a powerful card, right? I mean, look at that wand. Whoa, Zeus, the size of your wand. Oh, it's got a knob on top. We're really looking at a real desire to create something brand new, and that is Leo energy, 5th house, creativity, good fortune, right? Pleasure, that feline basking in the sun of fixed fire. So it feels like they want, in the element of fire, what is it that they want? Well, a lot, apparently. But where she really wants forward motion and action, remember, we're not talking about biological gender. He really wants this new beginning. And I love the word initiation, right? To initiate something, to start something. That spark of passion that could turn into a wildfire. We're off to a really fun start. What's the earth, right? What do they have that could help them get what they want? Well, this is fascinating, considering she's got the 2 of flames. He's got the ace. She's got the deuce. Now, in this deck, it's wands. In this deck, it's flames. It's still element of fire. But this is what she's got right now. This is a card that I call indecision, because decision is about what you want, element of fire, not about what you think. A lot of people, and that's fine, everybody does this differently, but they'll say the 2 of swords is indecision. The 2 of swords to me is analysis. It's looking at things mentally from different points of view, perhaps balancing 2 in particular. This is about really, well, do I want, it's like I want this, but do I want to do it this way or do I want to do it that way? Do I want it with this person or with that person? Do I want to be friends? Do I want to be lovers? Kind of juggling that. So we've really got that dual imagery there, right? Of a divine feminine character, Amazon and Mahueha, right? I believe volcano goddess from the Pacific Rim. Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. I suck at names anyway. And you know, that balancing of fire and desire. Interesting. What's interesting about the Divine Masculine here, because he's got the Ace of Flames, Ace of Wands in the fire position, the Empress, right? The Divine Feminine herself in terms of the mother, Demeter, in the element of earth. So the reason why I say that's interesting, well, of course, Demeter and Zeus gave birth to Persephone, their daughter. In this deck, Zeus is also the card of the Emperor. So you have, in a way, the Empress and a reflection, if not the direct card of the Emperor. So this Divine Masculine kind of has his own sense of fertility. And remember, we all have masculine and feminine energy. So even though the Empress can represent the amalgamation of all the queens in the tarot, right, of the 4 suits, minor arcana, the court cards, it feels like this person, this pioneer, definitely may have the want to explore, that wants that fire, that passion, but also has a certain sense of fertility, stability, and love. Like, I kind of get that unconditional love part of it. This could be somebody with a spiritual pioneering thing, which, you know, the temptation is, okay, I learned that, what's the next? Like, spiritual practices have to be put into action, right? Spiritual theologies, spiritual concepts aren't just concepts, they're supposed to be incarnated, right? Coming down through the crown, the third eye, the throat. If it stops there, if it doesn't penetrate the heart, right? Solar plexus, are you going to let it change your behavior? Second chakra, how is it going to interact in your one-on-one relationships? And root chakra, are you going to walk your talk? Are you going to incarnate all the way that through? I'm going to say, with the Empress being such a strong Venus-oriented card, there's that love part of it, but also Demeter, Earth Mother, that this is somebody that probably walks their talk, wanting to do things new, create new things, particularly if they're spiritually inspired, is just what I'm getting here, but has to watch that compulsive need to keep moving on, right? Very, very cool. I like these two. What's going on in the element of air? What are they thinking? Well, we got another major, we got major arcana cards for both of them. She's thinking about temperance. He's thinking about strength. So with this kind of major arcana energy going on here. They both match 2 for 2 here. Well, they both have a fire card, and they both have 2 major arcana cards, or spirit cards, if you want to play it that way, where she's really thinking about the discipline and the balance, right? And again, that balance of the white and the black horse, the balance of the juggling of the fire. Chances are, as a companion, she has been burned before, so she's trying to balance her desire, that which she wants, element of fire, with her water, her emotions, her intuition, because nobody does that overnight. That is a growth process. Temperance is a very interesting word when you consider tempered steel. Like, go watch a video on how they make tempered steel. It's not pretty, right? Tempered steel is practically unbreakable. Tempered glass, right? But what does it also mean when someone says temper, temper? It means perhaps your fire wants to rage out of control, but you discipline it, you balance it, and you channel it and focus it. So this is on her mind. Her mind is being tempered, or she is thinking a lot about the discipline, the boundaries. How do I want to do this in a way to keep moving forward? And that would explain why this indecision. Do I want to do it this way, or do I want to do it that way? That's really mirrored in her thought processes as well, where he's kind of thinking about the courage of it all. The card of strength, I think, has very little to do with physical strength. You know, like pick up the laptop, hurl it, and, you know, embed it into the wall. Where this is more about the strength of heart, the strength of courage, the ability to endure whatever is necessary, and a pioneer has to do that. A pioneer is going into uncharted territory. So to have that strength to endure the unexpected, to move through it, to keep moving forward. And I'm feeling that they have something in common here with this moving forward. Now, a pioneer and a companion, we've had thousands, hundreds of thousands of those throughout history. One person sort of taking the lead and the other one sort of backing them up. This is a cool couple this way. Can they, however, companion and pioneer a soulmate contract? I'm going to say, with the predominance of major arcana cards already, 2 out of 3 cards, we'll see what else comes. But yeah, that there's an alignment of spirit going on here, and a rather grounded, disciplined one, which I kind of like for Leos. Yeah, fixed fire, right? What are they feeling? This will probably tell us what the tea is, or at least the water in the tea, right? Well, okay, 5 of Pentacles for her, Earthquake, and the Judgment card. So we get a 3rd major arcana card for this Divine Masculine. Let's deal with her, though. She's feeling shook. I have a feeling these two have met. Like, it doesn't happen in every reading. In fact, a lot of these readings, it's just feeling like, they haven't met yet, but, you know, they may know each other, but they haven't come together. This feels like if they have not come together, boy, oh girl, are they ready to? Because she is shook. 5 of Pentacles, I know people think of it as such a disruptive card, like being left out in the cold, and I get that. That's from the Rider-Waite Tarot, and so many decks are based on that. But here, it's a very fast occurrence that changes everything. Earthquakes don't last terribly long. Like a 10-second earthquake is a big deal, depending on Richter scale, right? The intensity of it. Talk about time and intensity. So it feels like she's shook, and that doesn't necessarily make it destructive, a bad thing, but that would certainly explain why she wants to kind of gather her forces and move forward. I feel like she has been touched viscerally by this soulmate contract, particularly with the companion. It's such a soul movement that her heart might have cracked open. Not feeling this is heartbreak. Heartbreak would be a water card anyway, right? This is about something visceral going on in her emotional field. So, you know, there might be some earth signs going on in here. I would feel it's more her than him, so to speak. But with him, there's a revelation going on for him emotionally. He might be feeling this for the first time in this level of intensity, with that kind of soul magnetism, which means probably both of them have been through so many twin flame, turbulent, tumultuous but transformative, right? Burning away that which does not serve from them so they can be the mates of their own soul, then come together with other soulmates romantically. We're looking at, because this is Hermes as psychopomp, the guide of souls, that there is something very much being revealed here. You know, not the judgment of should I, shouldn't I, you know, maybe some discernment, but particularly in the position of water, this very movement of the soul is what makes a pioneer, where the next expedition, if you will, although that's more the explorer, but you get the idea, the next thing they're going to pioneer, whether it's science or food or even a new relationship form that's never been done before, soulmates have, but I do get that spiritual part of this, that there's something spiritual about the divine masculine here, and really has the mental strength and capacity to do this, and has the physical strength, prowess, compassion, and groundedness to do it. Really, 3 out of 4 major arcana cards here for this divine masculine pioneer. I'm liking this guy. I kind of want to date this guy, if he can stand still long enough, right? Let's see what happens. There's a lot going on with these two. So the last of these 5, and then we've got 5 other cards to look at. Let's see what's going on in the card of spirit, the voice or point of view of their souls individually. Well, 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 it's just major arcana day here at Drawing the Circle Productions home office. She's got the Empress. So does he, but she's got it in the soul position. So again, I feel like these two know each other. They might even be together, but with that 5 of Pentacles shook card, the earthquake, I think this is relatively new. Maybe they've just met the once, but the souls have sort of touched, so to speak, in physical form, and he's got the Lovers. So the Lovers, obviously people want that to be about sex and romance and all of that, but it's about a life-changing decision. And it feels like 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5 major arcana cards here. 1, 2, 3. She's got 3, he's got 4. That he is really contemplating changing his life. Perhaps, you see, the thing about a pioneer, it's different than an explorer. Like, I can explore Japanese cooking. I'm never going to pioneer that. It's already been pioneered. Maybe someone's going to come up with a new kind of Japanese cuisine that's never been seen on the planet, some kind of fusion. That's pioneering. But with the pioneer, it's something that's never been done before, right? To do or create what's never been done before. So this isn't just personal. This feels like a life-changing decision here that the two of them might partner up, yes, as an intimate, sexual, romantic partnership to do what has never been done before. But it's such a life changer that the soul is really saying choose wisely. Now, just really quickly, you have Hera, Aphrodite, and Athena. Power, Hera, the queen of the gods, love, Aphrodite, and wisdom, Athena. Now, this is the judgment of Paris. Go read the myth, right? It's how the Trojan War began with a golden apple. It's what happens when you don't invite the goddess Discord to a wedding. She hucks fruit in it with "to the most beautiful goddess" written on it. That none of the gods want to make that decision. Paris essentially gave the apple to Aphrodite, starting the Trojan War. Spoiler, sorry. If you don't know about the Trojan War yet, I am not the only spoiler, considering there have been movies about it. But the idea is, now catch this, can you make a loving, powerful, wise decision? Right? You get that? To bring those 3 chakras into alignment so they all agree, though they rarely do. That takes time. So this might be a never done before for him. Again, a divine masculine here, having to do all that, but with all of this major arcana energy in his field. This is definitely something that's scripted for them to do, but he does have free will. And will he move on, right? Will he have that compulsive need to move on? Not seen here, but perhaps with this card of judgment, something has been revealed to him in his own emotional, intuitive field. That this is the right one. This is the one to stick around for, right? Okie dokie then. We've got our 2 element spreads there. Let's ask the angels with the Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue, 1 for each of them. Because in a soulmate contract, you're helping each other heal. Well, what are the angelic energies, the Healing with the Angels Oracle cards, that are walking with them? Like, not just what they're healing within themselves, but what they bring to help each other heal. Shall we? Roll up these sleeves. Nice deep breath. Oh, hi, my angels. Oh, my beloved angels. Thank you so much for being here today. Please, my angels, 2 cards. 1 for this divine feminine companion. 1 for this divine masculine pioneer in this Leo collective. Sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise. Sexual, intimate, romantic, satisfying soulmate contract for March 2020. Throw the cards across the table. Please, my angels, 1 for her. Like, I feel these 2. I like these 2, that they have so much, well, fire card is the, but they've got the Empress. He's got her. She is, from the soul's perspective, the Empress, right? Some pretty powerful stuff here. So please, 1 for this divine feminine companion, please. There we go. I do them face down. And 1 for this divine masculine pioneer, please. What are the angels walking with them for their own healing? Let's see. Okay, so we've got retreat for her. So the angel of retreat saying, pull back, sweetheart, pull back. And chances are that they have met, she's shook, and she's like, you know what? This guy's a pioneer. She may not call it that. She might think of him as a player, right? I need to pull back because, and again, I don't know. Do I want to do this or not? Do I really want to, but do I want to do it now? Do I want to do it later? Do I want to just dive right in or just take a baby step? 2 of flames usually indicates a little of this and then hopefully a baby step. And again, on her mind is being disciplined. So that does make sense that she may be retreating in order for the soul to really give her everything she needs from the inside out to do this, right? It takes a lot of courage to jump into a soulmate contract anyway, even though it's so alluring. But if your heart has been shook, like the of Pentacles, even a 10-second shake, that's a heart attack, right? But this feels like perhaps her heart has cracked open. There might be releasing some grief there, some unprocessed pain, and just pulling back to kind of do her own healing is a wise thing. And interesting, he's got body care, right? So for him, perhaps he's got to not just get his physical body together, but maybe everything about his physical body, his finances, his house, his diet, his car, his clothes, right? All of those things that you need to take care of a body, like a job. Like if he's got this compulsive thing of always moving on, always moving on, always moving on, does he have a steady job, right? Does he have a steady place to live? What's his house like? Now, I know I'm making him very masculine, which is, not necessarily fair to the divine masculines in general, making it a man that way. But there is something about always being on the go, which is very pioneer energy, that you don't always have the time to do the physical upkeep that you need, which is why I like working from home, right? I can take a shower every day before I do this, right? Well, you should anyway, right? To be clean, but that's part of my daily regimen of body care, so that I look good, but also so that I feel refreshed when I do this. I'm not carrying yesterday with me. So perhaps there is some of that going on there for him as well. Now, by the way, with that card of retreat for her, she could very much retreat with him at some point, like bring him into her world. And that also means that he could take very good care of her body as well, so to speak, in all sorts of different ways. Let's ask the higher selves here with the Whispers of Love Oracle. I love this deck so much. Please breathe. The higher selves of all involved, I guess perhaps mine as well, so I'm Leo rising. Please, 1 card each, 1 for this divine feminine companion, One for this, okay. They just said to me, yeah, the Divine Feminine has recently gone through not just breakups romantically, but companionship, partnerships in terms of friends. So she might be a little shaky in her emotions that way. I get that. So please, the higher selves of all involved, one card for the Divine Feminine, one card for the Divine Masculine in this Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, romantic, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract for March 2020 or timeless, please. One for our Divine Feminine companion, one for our Divine Masculine pioneer. Let's see what the higher selves say. Be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care, which makes sense. If she's retreating, she'd be like, look, dude, I'm just shook. I'm just shook. Wasn't expecting this. Kind of healing some stuff in my own emotions, my own heart right now. I'm into it. I just need to slow this bitch down a bit, okay? But I'm supportive. I want to support you in your pioneering nature, in your creativity to create what's never been created before. And with him, this makes total sense. Spend some quality time together, which means the higher self is saying, stick around. Just don't dip it and go, you know? Spend some quality time together. It is imperative that we spend quality time with those we are in significant relationships with, listening and talking to each other. And that might be a first for this Divine Masculine, again, regardless of gender. And if it's not, it feels like it's going to have a bigger intensity with this Lover's card, this life-changing decision looming. I think, you know, sometimes you just know when you meet somebody and it's not just that false hope, that there's a real intuitive ring here, particularly with this Judgment card in the emotional field, which is also covering the intuitive field here. Definitely wants to get on with this, and really does have the love and the strength and the compassion to pull this off, to do it wisely and well. Well, we've got one card left. Really, I mean, that makes so much sense for both of them. A healing mantra card. The voices of the Ascended Masters of Soulmate Contracts are going to pull one card, the last card down for these two. It doesn't matter who's watching this, whether you're the Divine Feminine or the Divine Masculine cross-watcher, or you're watching for yourself. Working with this mantra will help you heal. It's a healing mantra deck. But will also help each other heal. There's something very holographic about soulmate contracts that way, where even as you heal yourself, it helps the other heal, even if you haven't met. Now, I guess that there's some indication here that they might not have met yet, and if that is your situation and you're still watching, I would say the Amazon would say wanting to move forward into that, and this Ace of Wands wanting to begin something very passionate. But the predominance of major arcana here kind of says if that is so, this is going to be a shock to both of their systems. So let's ask the Ascended Masters. Breathe. My Ascended Masters. My Ascended Masters of Soulmate Contracts. Please, oh please, oh please. One card in clarity for this Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, sexual, intimate, romantic, satisfying soulmate contract involving this companion, Divine Feminine, pioneer, Divine Masculine, please. What is the perfect, most truly, truly helpful healing mantra that they can utilize within themselves individually, or if they already know each other, maybe they can do it together, really for their well-being and for the well-being of all. What's the perfect mantra for them? Please. Here we go. On one side of the card, on one side of the card is the name of the mantra, the other side the mantra itself, and I use, yeah, considering what this card is, I get why that one flew across the table. Definitely going to read this from the book anyway. We've got resolving anger. Conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself. Conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself, right? Rather than be possessed by the anger, the conflict, right? To resolve the anger within yourself by resting, relaxing, perhaps emoting, running, working out, but taking that space for yourself. Literally says, when I need more space for myself. So when you're feeling conflict, now that reframes this a little bit. Because like I said, the main element that they have in common other than Spirit, the major arcana here, is they've got that fire element, right? The Ace of Wands and the Two of Flames, Two of Wands. So maybe there are some conflicts going on, if not between them, then in the cultures maybe, or there's conflict within the friends or the families or the tribes. That's the word I'm looking for, because tribes can absolutely contain both friends, families, co-workers, cultures in that way, that there might be something very conflicting there. So maybe that means when they're dealing with conflict from everybody else, they need more time for themselves together to help each other heal. So let's look that one up. Resolving anger. I always do anyway. Oh, flipped right to it. Resolving anger. Conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself. When anger is resolved, you are able to see your emotional reactions or the abrupt responses of others as evidence of profound transformation taking place. This has been a real pivotal truth for me, that I am so used to being an emotional healer that when an emotion pops up, I'm like, oh, I have to heal this emotion. Where I've learned in the past year or so that the emotion is a sign that there's already healing taking place. It is the release or the byproduct of the healing, right? So to breathe through it, love what rises. Thank you, Matt Kahn, for those words. When anger is present, it acts as a sign of needing more space to face the feelings that are ready to be healed, or to balance out patterns of doing with moments of silent being. And I feel like that's what she's trying to do with that card of Temperance, the being and doing thing, at least mentally, right? Trying to balance this out, and hence the retreat, where for the Pioneer it might be just keep going, just keep going, just keep going, right? Without taking some time to resolve some of that stuff. As you resolve anger, you are able to find the time you need to be both rested and productive, because it feels like they both want to act on this, but there might, of course there's going to be emotional baggage, right, from twin flames, right, the scar tissue, the singed fur, so to speak, of the Leo coming out of a twin flame contract. This mantra is ideal for managing stress, brilliant, deepening interpersonal communication, that's what's missing here. There's no air. There are no air cards here. Communication, and tempering frustration. She got the Temperance card. That's pretty cool. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to pop up a picture of the spread, and we'll look at the overview and see what else pops. Shall we? Nice deep breath. Magic clap. We've got this divine feminine companion archetype with the shadow, betrayal by misusing confidences, loss of personal identity, lack of boundaries. The light attribute, loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. And again, with the predominance of major arcana cards in both of their decks, none of them are the devil or the tower or anything that you would necessarily think of as disruptive. They're all pretty stabilizing, actually. Well, the Chariot, the Amazon, perhaps, is that passion driving forward for her. So let's start there, right? We got this companion with the Amazon, very much wanting to bring herself into forward motion. Definitely a Mars energy with that warrior type, but balanced with that emotional drive. Again, is it motivation or inspiration? I feel like it's more inspiration as the result of the soul moving them forward. Yet, with that Two of Flames, there is a tempering there, right? An indecision in terms of how to apply this desire. Do I want to do it this way? Do I want to do it that way? Do I just want to lay it out all on the table as an explosion? Will it be too hot to not cool down? Do I want to take this a spark at a time and let it grow? And that is certainly on her mind with that Temperance card in the mental field there, balancing her emotions element of water, and her desires, element of fire, to do this wisely and well. Looking at the Five of Pentacles, though, in her emotional field, that's what she's balancing. She is shook. She is shocked. This might have taken her by surprise, even on a neurological level, where it's affecting her physiologically, because it is the Five of Pentacles. Quite shocked in that way, but emotionally so. And what's the voice of the soul there in the spirit position is the Empress, right? Mawu, the great mother, giving birth to a child on the back of an elephant, right? So there's something new being born out of her, but something very stable, something very loving, something very grounded, something very maternal and creative. And what's the angel that walks with her? The angel of retreat. Just like she might be giving birth to her new self in a way spiritually here, but there's still some emotional stuff that needs to shake out. And what's the message from her higher self as a companion? Be supportive, make a genuine effort to show you care, even if that's to her own inner child and her own self, to care for herself. But it does feel like she would be very much in support of this divine masculine pioneer. And let's look at him. In the shadow attribute, compulsive need to keep moving on, which is not great in any kind of romantic, sexual, intimate thing. But the light attribute, a passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. Really, if someone were to ask me which one is the Leo here, either one of them could be, but I would put my money down on the divine masculine pioneer, because of that, to do the thing that's never been done before, right? That sort of passion and excitement. But I could see it just as easily in the companion, because we're looking at the Ace of Wands for him in terms of what he wants. Something new, right? Something that's never been done before. That's totally suiting his archetype. But with the Empress, he probably has the wherewithal. Keep in mind, she's got the Empress in the soul position. Again, indicating these two have at least met, they've made contact, maybe they are friends or in the same social circle, and maybe part of that resolving anger is about the conflict within their own circle of friends or tribes, right? Even if it's a shared tribe. But in his mind, he has the strength and the courage, or at least he's thinking about it, right? In his mind, that strong mind of trying to figure out a way to do this, to be bold, to be brave, to be courageous, to follow his heart mentally, because in his emotional field, where his heart is the card of judgment, Hermes, the psychopomp in the underworld, raising the dead, the guide of souls. So it's like he's following not just his instinct, his intuition, and perhaps his divine calling here. Remember, these are soul contracts. These are written by the gods themselves. So definitely making the judgment call emotionally to go forward with this, with that Ace of Wands. But, you know, in that place of the soul, the spirit card, the lovers, a life-changing decision. Can he make a wise, powerful decision, or divide that however you want, a powerfully wise, loving decision, mix that up. But body care is a big part of this, right? Does he have the physical wherewithal? We see that in the the Empress card in his element of earth, that there's certainly a fertility there, but maybe that is the angel that walks with him in terms of he is taking good care of his body, and therefore would be able to do so with this divine companion, creating a safer space, but also a healthier, more caring space. And for that compulsive need to move on, the higher self is saying, spend some quality time together, divine masculine pioneer. It's imperative that you spend quality time with those you are in significant relationship with, listening and talking to each other. And so whatever conflicts may arise within them individually, between them as a couple, or I do get this sense there might be a cultural difference here that's creating conflict. That card of resolving anger here, conflict reminds them when they need more space for myself. So there's the mantra. Conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself. If they can both get that, set these clean, clear boundaries, then it's not I'm leaving you, I just need to process. My nervous system is inflamed, it's overloaded, I am in conflict, or I'm just pissed at everybody else. And perhaps it is, do you want to retreat with me, says the divine feminine to the divine masculine, and maybe that's a thing he's never pioneered before. Cool. That's pretty neat. I mean, it looks like they've both had their roughness about this. They've both been through it a little bit, maybe her more than him. but will he be able to follow through and keep going, or will he ditch as soon as he gets what he wants? And that doesn't feel like a soulmate. That feels like a twin flame. So really, really neat reading, though, and I'll give you the blessing. May the Leo Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in this soulmate contract for March 2020 or timeless, that they may grow, that they may heal, that they may pursue each other for the well-being of themselves individually, together as a couple, for their culture, their tribes, and for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you so much for watching my Leo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising Venus signs. May you be blessed with all that you need this month. But for now, signing off. Oh, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment below. I want some extra pieces of the puzzle here. What does this mean to you? Cool. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed for now. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.